Okay, year three. So with this work today, there's a few tasks I'd like you to do. Now, some of them are about finding things amazing, some of them are about finding things out, and some of them are about finding ways of making adults do exercise. So your first task in year three, okay, what I'd like you to do is experience, like me, reading these facts about our muscles. Now, it might feel a bit boring, but some of these facts are amazing. So when I read these, I was like, "Ooh, bit boring, Mr. Spring. I'm not sure you can set year three that." And then I read that. I read that you use 17 muscles every time you smile. Now, some of you, like Orsos, might know that you've got brothers or sisters in my class this year, or you have had last year. And you might think Mr. Spring never smiles. So that must be why he's saving his muscles. So I was like, that's great. I'm saving 17 muscles. So I'm going to keep frowning. And then I read, use 43 every time you frown. Now I've got to stop frowning, so I have to smile more. So that's a worrying prospect for you. So I thought it was really interesting reading these different facts about what smiling and other uses of muscles. And then what I'd like you to do once you've read them is write down which of those facts you find most amazing and why it shocked you. So was it shocking because you thought it was a smooth muscle you were using, or was it shocking you because you thought you'd be using more or less muscles, or you'd never thought that you used muscles when you did that action? So have a think about that. Second task, then, what I'd like you to do then is just get active. So you've got four things I need you to do. You've got to hold your hand out. You've got to lift your foot up and down. You've got to hold your arm out. And then you've got to feel your jaw. And once you've done them, just have a think and explain to somebody at home which muscles you think you're using. Okay. If you want to, on the piece of paper, you could even label that. So on your piece of paper, you could label which ones you've used. And you've got some muscles that are indicated on this label diagram, and you've got some exercises that you need to do. So you've got to walk up the stairs, drink, wash the dishes. Mums and dads will be happy with that. Vacuum clean if you're allowed to. If you're not, just see if you can get something to pretend you're vacuuming. Brushing your teeth, flushing the toilet, getting out of bed and opening the door. And I'd like you to think about which muscles you're going to be using if you do those activities and fill that sheet in. Next job, guys, we've got our friend over here. You won't know him because you're much younger than me. This is a very famous man in the 1980s and 1990s called Mr. Motivator. And he used to go on TV every morning and help people who found it tricky to do exercise by showing them how to use it. Now, I think Mr. Day might need some motivating. So I'd like you to help Mr. Motivator motivate Mr. Day. What I'd like you to do, year three, is plan a little routine for Mr. Day that he has to do every day. So when you're motivating Mr. Day, what I'd like you to think about is which exercise it might be that you think he needs to do every day. So it might be 20 star jump, and you're going to include that in there. And then in the next column, you're going to write down which muscles that would use. Have a think back to your knowledge, or do some star jumps and think which of your muscles you're using, whether it's your pectoral ones, your jaw ones, which ones is it that you're using, and see if you can get Mr. Day a lovely exercise routine that we can maybe get him doing every day. And Mr. Spring might see if he's allowed to stay in school and get a photo of Mr. Day doing that. Next job then, guys, if you fancy doing that first one for Mr. Day, brilliant. Or if you fancy getting some elastic bands and trying to make a model of a muscle, it'd be fantastic to see if you can make a muscle move, remembering those two contracting and relaxing muscles we looked at earlier, and try and actually make a muscle move. If you don't have elastic bands, don't worry though. You can have a go at making Mr. Day move and get lots of his muscles moving. Okay. Right, guys. I look forward to seeing your exercises. I look forward to seeing Mr. Day's exercises, some muscles moving, and some fantastic work thinking about which ones have been used. Thank you for listening so well, year three. I look forward to seeing all those bits of work coming in. See you soon. Bye bye.